Who you know who does it better than this? I'm the boy you done did it. I'm on top of the list, trying to get a good signal like a satellite dish. Every day to me, it's like a solar eclipse.
What's up, y'all? s.a.geek. Welcome to my channel. This is a long one right here. Top 20 TV scenes that were more important than you realize. The first image is Arrested Development, so let's just dive right in.
And my hand chair. I had one in my room. I wonder where that went.
It went right there.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 TV scenes that were more important than you realized.
I'll see you again in 25 years.
I'm gonna need your resignation.
What? That's,
Dear God, this
got
parachute
time
is
to
a knapsack.
rewatch?
For this
Like,
list, we're
rewind that
examining
scene.
singular or recurring scenes from TV series that took on greater importance
Hold that
due to the
door.
fact that they foreshadowed or impacted later events. Naturally, there will be
Spoiler.
spoilers ahead. If there were some TV scenes that were more important than we realized, be sure to let us know in the comments.
Oh.
Number 20, 25 Years, Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is a weird
Okay,
show
it's Twin
full
Peaks.
of cryptic
I get
messages,
it now.
and
I
sometimes
haven't
it's
watched
just
it,
bizarre for the sake of
for
bizarre.
what Twin Peaks
One of the most
has
intriguing
been
recurring
told
elements
to
are the
me
Black
is-
Lodge segments set in the Red Curtained Room, where characters have a strange backward speech pattern.
Hello, Ashton.
In one of these scenes, the murdered Laura Palmer talks to FBI agent Dale Cooper, telling him that she'll see him in 25 years.
I'll see you again in 25 years.
Lo and behold, the Revival series is set and filmed in 2016, even if it was released a year later. Did creator David Lynch plan for this? Probably not, but it does lend a certain mystique to the scene in hindsight.
I am Laura Palmer.
But Laura Palmer is dead.
I am dead.
Number 19,
Goddamn.
Beetlejuice, Community. Some shows take a long time to pay off jokes, but few of them set up years in advance. However, most shows are not Community.
I'm chaperoning tomorrow's dance. You should come. Maybe your study buds will go. What's the blonde's name? Bitter Butter Beetlejuice?
As anyone familiar with the movie Beetlejuice is aware, the titular ghoul appears after you say his name 3 times. Community takes this and runs with the idea, with the character being mentioned in passing once in Season 1, a second time in Season 2,
Don't you usually wear the stripy turquoise Beetlejuice numbers?
and then a third time in Season 3, after which a character in the background dressed like Beetlejuice
What a
appears.
There's nothing in
long-running
your playlist
joke,
but
though.
Spooky Party, the Beetlejuice soundtrack, and NPR podcast.
Now that's dedication. Number 18,
What?
Mary
That's so
Apologizes,
smart.
Supernatural. Arguably the defining moment in the life of the Winchester brothers is the death of their mother Mary at the hands of a demon. It sets them on the path to hunting supernatural creatures due to being trained by their
One
father
of the
John.
most long-running
So, when
shows
the boys
ever.
encounter their mother's ghost, Sam is puzzled when she apologizes to him.
I'm sorry.
For what?
Several seasons later, we learn that Mary is apologizing because she made a deal with the same demon that killed her and fed demon blood to Sam, permitting him to enter her house in exchange for John's life. Mary's apology is for her own role in the
Damn.
brothers' lives turning out the way they have.
As long as I'm not interrupted, nobody gets hurt.
Number 17, Kenneth's Immortality, 30 Rock.
Terrible
NBC
lies.
page Kenneth is a little unsettling, despite his chipper demeanor. And we don't just mean his permanently toothy grin. Throughout the show, there's a running gag that Kenneth is somehow much older than he appears. And while this can range from subtle scenes such as his making reference to pop culture of the 1940s
Haven't
and
watched
50s
30 Rock in
and
so
being
long.
affected by sounds only heard by people over 40, at other times things get a bit more blatant, such as his paranoia about his age and his apparent first words to his mother.
He looked up at me and he said,
Then
Mom,
Bryan Cranston
I
is
am
in
not a
it.
person. My body's just a flesh vessel.
While this
probably
would
has
just
some
be a
crazy
character quirk,
guest stars.
it all pays off in the finale, where a scene in the distant future reveals Kenneth in charge of NBC and looking exactly the same. Number 16, Leslie Knope's Womb, Parks and Recreation. In Season 2 of Parks and Rec, Leslie Knope is set up on a blind date with an MRI tech, Chris, by her friend Anne. Their date isn't exactly romantic since he takes her to have an MRI after learning she's never had one. He also makes some awkward comments regarding her womb, claiming that she could have triplets the first time she gets pregnant.
You got a great oven.
Okay, Time to go.
Got ample room in there. Honestly, if you wanted to, you could go triplets right off the bat, Leslie.
Although certainly a bit creepy, Chris's medical opinion proves accurate, since a few seasons later, when Leslie becomes pregnant by her husband Ben, they do indeed have triplets.
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 Number 15, Monica wants twins. Friends. Late in Friends' first season, Ross's ex-wife gives birth to their son. While waiting around for the birth, the gang, particularly Monica, has babies on the mind, with her lamenting the fact that she doesn't have one of her own, demanding why a passing mother gets to have two. Chandler then offers to get together and have one with her in a nice gesture that goes hilariously wrong.
Dear God, this parachute is a knapsack!
Not only does this scene foreshadow Chandler and Monica getting together years in advance, it also takes on added significance once the two of them adopt twins from a new mother in the final season.
Oh, look at these little bunnies.
I know. You ready to trade?
Man.
Okay.
Number 14, Lane Price's fate. Mad Men.
I'm gonna need your resignation.
Mad Men was still in its heyday during its 5th season, and this episode only helped raise the excitement. In the 12th episode, Lane Price hangs himself after being forced to resign for stealing money from the company.
What's going on?
I think something's terribly wrong in Mr. Price's office. I can't get the door open.
However, if you paid close attention throughout the season, this act by Price would be no surprise to you.
Look, I already have life insurance. It came with my junior partnership. And it's 6 times my annual salary, and after 2 years it covers suicide. So make your pitch brief.
Examples include Pete discussing life insurance in the event of suicide, Price himself ironically exclaiming,
I'll be here the rest of my life.
and even Dawn sketching a noose. Suffice it to say, the show's writers knew exactly where they were going with Price.
Goddamn.
Number 13, Witch in the credits, American Horror Story. Much of the plot of the 3rd season of this anthology horror series depicts Fiona Good, a witch, and her search/murder spree for the next supreme witch after herself, who will make herself known by displaying the 7 wonders or 7 magical abilities. However, the answer as to who will be the next supreme is actually teased in the opening credits. Fiona's daughter Cordelia is played by Sarah Paulson, whose name in the title sequence is displayed next to Mexican death saint Santa Muerte, also known as the Lady of the 7 Powers. Anyone familiar with the iconography certainly had a leg up over other viewers.
In the absence of the council, as reigning supreme of this coven, I hereby decree for the murders of our sister witch Cicely Pembroke.
Number 12, Bats in His Future, The Walking Dead. While Rick's explanation about rabbit snares foreshadowing Terminus was also considered, we elected to go with these deadly sports-related clues instead. Baseball, America's pastime, right? Well, not so much in an apocalyptic zombie wasteland. Some serious foreshadowing stepped up to the plate in Season 5 for Glenn, who, at various points in the season, was pictured picking up baseball bats and also nearly meeting his end via a bat beating.
Hey! Your shot count?
Well, that nearly vanished a couple of seasons later when Negan took a swing, and did not miss in one of
When
TV's
Glenn
most
died, oh
shocking
my god, I
and
was so
brutal
pissed
moments.
at this show.
So, back to it.
Number 11, Fitz's convo with Ward, Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. may not be as connected to the MCU as many would like, but it's still got plenty of great little connections within the show itself. One occurs when Grant Ward and Leopold Fitz are on a mission together in Season 1 and they're captured. Ward, while making plans to escape, inquires how long Fitz can hold his breath underwater.
How long can you hold your breath underwater?
Although Fitz has no idea at the time, he's forced to find out not long after at Ward's hands as he betrays the team, dropping Fitz and Simmons out of a plane to sink to the bottom of the ocean.
That was one hell of a
escape
twist.
The underwater prison, Fitz enacts a daring scheme that forces him to hold his breath.
Killed so
Number
many
10,
brain cells
Scully's
for a
Howler,
second.
The X-Files.
Tell me where Alice Brandt is.
She's
Okay, now watch the X-Files.
from the Howlers.
This Season 4 episode is not only notable for being written by Vince Gilligan of Breaking Bad fame, but also for introducing a major story element. The episode Unruh sees Mulder and Scully track down a killer who gives lobotomies to women.
Do I remind you of your sister? Why did your sister kill herself, Jerry? What did your father do to her?
He didn't do anything. It was the Howlers.
When he captures Scully, he tells her that she has howlers in her head that he wants to remove.
They live inside your head. They make you do things and say things that you don't mean. And all your good thoughts can't wish them away. You need help. You've got them right there.
Fast forward to a few weeks later in the 12th episode, when it's revealed that Scully has brain cancer. And wouldn't you know it, it's in the exact same place that the lobotomy killer pointed to.
I have cancer. It is a mass on the wall between my sinus and cerebrum.
Goddamn.
If it pushes into my brain, statistically, there is about 0 chance of survival.
Number 9, Loose Seal, Arrested Development. Even for as bingeable a show as Arrested Development is, there are some things that escape viewers the first time through, which is what makes rewatching it so rewarding. One of the most notable is the frequency of early hints that Buster Bluth will lose a limb.
And the hand chair! I had one in my room. I wonder where that went.
It went right there.
Well, I never thought I'd miss a hand so much.
From the fact that a loose seal is responsible, his mother's name is Lucille, folks, to the numerous sly references to Buster losing a hand, we just have to give a hand to the creators of the show for being this on the ball with the build-up to this plot point.
Lucille! Watch out for Lucille! I don't care about Lucille! Stay alive!
And then a seal bites off his hand.
Number 8, Expiration Date, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Score.
Buffy became a major contender for Fantasy Show of the Decade, thanks in no small part to its numerous uses of foreshadowing. There were plenty of foreshadowing moments throughout Buffy's run, from the early revelation of Willow's sexuality via her vampire doppelganger, to Faith predicting Dawn's existence during a dream sequence.
It's horrible. That's me as a vampire. I'm so evil and skanky. And I think I'm kind of gay.
But for this entry, we're focusing on Joyce's credit card, which has an expiration date of May 2001 as read out loud by Faith.
6447. Expiration 501.
Fast forward one season when Buffy tragically dies by jumping into a portal. This episode's air date, May 22nd, 2001. Looks like the expiration date of the credit card was actually referring to the expiration of Buffy's life.
What
And knowing Joss Whedon, there is no way this was just a coincidence.
Dawn, listen to me. Listen. I love you. I will always love you. This is the work that I have to do.
Number 7, River Song, Doctor Who.
Doctor, please tell me you know who I am.
Who are you?
Time travel allows for plenty of callbacks and call forwards. Although the bad wolf mentions throughout the first series of the revival are quite good, when it comes to unexpected importance and foreshadowing, River Song is basically this concept distilled into a character. A mysterious woman the Doctor meets
Also
who seems to have
not
knowledge
too
of his
many
personal
Doctor
future.
Who's.
River Song proves to have a lot of personal significance to the Time Lord in future seasons, being the daughter of some of his future companions, his wife, and his supposed murderer, though not in that order.
Hello.
Goddamn.
But that means... I'm afraid it does.
The fact that she name-drops some of their future adventures together, as well as calls back or forward to things she or he has said, makes River's appearances great to revisit. Number 6,
Karen Gillan.
Watch Your Back, Babylon 5.
Guard those boxes with your life. Don't let anything happen to them. Will do.
This is Blue Alpha. Stand by.
This space western is notable for being planned out in advance from the beginning. So, of course, the head writer, J. Michael Straczynski, would drop many hints and bits of foreshadowing throughout its run. One of the best examples has to be when Walker Smith tells Chief Warrant Officer Michael Garibaldi that he's going to learn to watch his back.
One of these days, Garibaldi, you're going to learn to watch your back. Walker Smith.
Well, you can guess what happens next. During the first season finale, Garibaldi is shot in the back in an attempt to keep an assassination plot a secret. If you've been watching it like Smith told him to, then maybe this wouldn't have been an issue.
Nothing's the same anymore.
Number 5, Ben Sullivan's Absent Camera, Scrubs. In one of the feelsiest Scrubs episodes of all time, Ben's famous death proves just how fine a line this show walks between comedy and drama.
There's one more thing you have to do for me. You can't keep me from getting drunk.
You have to forgive yourself for everything that went down the other day.
While Ben is a little irritating, he also always has his camera, even proclaiming that his camera will be with him until he's no longer alive.
You still doing the whole kooky guy who brings his camera everywhere thing?
Till the day I die.
Well, later in the episode, his camera is mysteriously absent, and no one seems to acknowledge Ben except for Cox.
And where's your camera? Aren't you gonna take some pictures?
Pictures of what?
You know, crying babies covered in chocolate, people singing happy birthday to my son who've never even met him before, you know, the whole routine. Where do you think we are?
It's not until the end of the episode that it's all painfully put together.
With the help of those around you.
Oh, this was a dark episode.
Number 4, An Omen of Animals, Game of Thrones. Given that it's based on a book series as thick as bricks, Game of Thrones has plenty of little seeds and hints of future events to be found throughout. And while choosing the reveal about Hodor's name was tempting, one of its most easily overlooked happens in the very first episode. Ned Stark and his children come upon a direwolf mother and a stag which have killed each other, leaving 6 pups without a parent.
Where will they go?
Oh, yeah?
Their mother's dead.
Flash forward to the end of season 1, and Ned, head of House Stark, whose symbol is a direwolf, and Robert Baratheon, whose symbol is a stag, are both dead, with Ned's 6 children largely left to fend for themselves. Number 3, Thanksgiving flash forward, How I Met Your Mother.
Marshall, something's happened. Your father, he had a heart attack. He didn't make it.
Although the subtle countdown to Marvin's death seen in the same episode was worthy of consideration, we're taking a look at a different episode about the same topic. This is supposed to be a comedy! That's what everyone yelled at their screen as they discreetly wiped away their tears after hearing of Marvin's death via heart attack.
My dad said?
However, an innocent throwaway joke predicted the event 2 seasons earlier. As Marshall cuts the Thanksgiving turkey in a flash forward, his father Marvin is mysteriously absent from the family table. While this is obviously not a 100% accurate scenario since, lightsabers, it's still a haunting depiction of their family life in the near future, when Marvin Sr. is no longer with them.
Honey, please be careful.
Number 2, Light versus Dark.
The ferocity you
What is
see
it
in
like,
that
checkers?
issue.
Not really. It's a better game than checkers.
Lost is chock full of foreshadowing, lore, and complexities. But that's what fans love so much about it. In its first season, as John Locke and Walt Lloyd play backgammon, Locke explains the game using the concept of light versus dark.
2 players, 2 sides. One is light, one is dark.
To all those English majors out there, it's obvious that the scene is not just filler about backgammon, as it explains the moral complexities of the characters and reveals the rivalry between Jacob, white, and the man in black, dark.
Do you have any idea how badly I want to kill you?
Yes.
And as it turns out, the island is just one big game of backgammon. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You
They
have
killed
the option to be
Lucifer.
notified for occasional videos or all of them.
Supernatural
If you're on your
fans
phone,
know
make
what
sure
I'm
you go
talking
into your
about.
settings and switch on notifications.
It's a long ass video.
Number 1,
I
The
don't
Teddy
have a
Bear,
back rest.
Breaking
so
Bad.
my back
Breaking
is
Bad
killing me.
is a masterpiece on all fronts, and that includes plenty of hints at future events. As tempting as it was to pick certain moments like Walt spinning a gun actually being the moment he decides to poison a child, we went with an even more arresting image. Throughout season 2, black and white cold opens in some episodes feature a burned pink teddy bear in Walt's pool. Although these scenes also herald the season's finale involving a plane crash, the bear itself, with its half-burned visage, has drawn comparisons to Gus Fring, whose dramatic death several seasons later also saw him with a half-burned face. If it were any other show, we'd chalk it up to coincidence, but come on, it's Breaking Bad. Of course it's intentional. Do you agree with our picks?
You're making
Check out this
the-
other recent
the-
clip from
the
WatchMojo.
bear is so
and be sure to
dramatic.
subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
A lot of spoilers to shows that I haven't watched, but definitely still gonna check them out. Cause the chances that when I watch it will remember this video are slim. Slim to none. It was a great video though. Great list. Great shows. I subscribe. Deuces. Tell me what you guys think. Did you see these twists and turns coming? These foreshadowings? Tell me what you guys think. Deuces.